We all had that one teacher who had a significant impact on our lives. In my case, I actually had quite a few. But today is World Teachers Day, and we remember them. It's very difficult to be a teacher right now. And remember, they're the ones that's sending your little ones out into the world. We also look ahead to the future of education in our country. But listen to this. South Africa is going to need 55,000 more teachers by 2025 to ensure quality education. It's a staggering amount. How attainable is that? How is the private sector going to come in to try and assist? Well, from Investec, I'm joined by Setlogane Manchidi making time for me this morning. Setlogane, good morning to you. And that's an awful number of teachers that we need to try and get into classrooms. To your mind, is that even possible? Is that attainable?
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to your viewers. Gareth, I mean, it's a tough task, and it's going to require innovative solutions to really try and address it. I mean, I think let's face it, the challenge here is that more than half our current teachers are over the age of 53 and are due to retire in 2030, which it contributes hugely to this challenge. But also, we must also acknowledge that teaching is not considered an attractive career in terms of salary and progression. And as a result, there are simply not enough young matriculants signing up to study teaching. And I think that's really a serious challenge. So we really have to look to innovative solutions to try and find this challenge. You know, one of the decisions that will be an indictment for many years to come was the closing of teacher training colleges on the advent of democracy. I mean, I mean, at the moment, most teaching is left to universities, and the universities don't simply have the kind of capacity to produce the kind of numbers that we have. Yeah, I think we've got to have to come up with innovative solutions as to how best to meet this challenge.
The demand and the challenge, because the demand and the challenge is so significant. While I mentioned 55,000 teachers are needed, let me just remind everyone we're talking about 12.9 million pupils, almost 13 million pupils in our country. So just help me understand from a private perspective then, where's Investec coming in on this possible solution? Why are you getting involved?
Well, I mean, we've been involved for quite some time because maths and science teaching or education has been a priority of ours for many years. And we realize that many of our initiatives, such as ProMaths and others, would not be as successful as they are if it wasn't for the good quality teachers that we have been able to find. And we, in partnership with the SASA and the Department of Basic Education, have for a good number of years now been running a teacher internship program, which in essence takes youngsters and places them into as interns in one of the SASA network of schools, be it St. John's or all these others, as interns while they register for a B.Ed degree. And it's beautiful because it allows them to be immersed in the culture of the various schools. It allows them to be mentored by some of the best educators this country has ever seen, particularly in the area of maths and science, and exposes them to what it is to be a teacher. So, but we're going to need many more of these initiatives. One of the pieces that really excites me that must be put to the test is the PGCE, which is a postgraduate certificate in education, which really takes individuals who may have qualified as chartered accountants, may have qualified as engineers, may have qualified, and in 1 year, it exposes them to teaching methodology and so on, and really converts them from being chartered accountants into teachers, being engineers into teachers. And that's really talking of innovative solutions. This is one of the certificates that we really need to be putting to the test.
And while you're doing that test as well, Setlogane, because it's one of those tests that needs to be put into place immediately to see if it actually works. I suppose the problem is you've explained an awful amount of work going into this, clearly a lot of research and time and commitment. How do we stop teachers who go through a test like this, who get that qualification and in maths and science, how do we stop them leaving the country? We upskill them, and I understand teachers are working in appalling conditions. They're being paid badly. They have children who don't respect them. They have parents who are disrespectful to teachers. Of course they're going to leave to go to another country. How do we stop them doing that, especially the youngsters coming through now, because we're globalized, aren't we?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a serious challenge, Gareth, and you've really articulated it well in terms of the challenges that they face. You know, there are too many factors informing teachers' decisions to leave the profession for possible greener pastures, and many of these are systemic, and we really need to explore systemic solutions. For example, the perceived working conditions and possibly even better financial rewards for possibly working in a private school versus a public school, or working overseas for that matter, especially at a time when South Africa is beset with real day-to-day challenges, let alone that which challenges school settings. You know, load shedding, now it's water. And of course, I think if you think about it, if you're a teacher, surely the overall performance of our education system at times negatively impacts job satisfaction. I mean, how do you become part of or stay motivated to stay part of a team that year on year you kind of see the kind of results that you are produced? Also, I mean, of the 750,000 individuals that sat for matric last year, about 250,000 set for maths, and in there you only produced about 6,000 or 7,000 distinctions. So there's a lot of work. So that surely eats away. But that's why I'm saying we really need to be looking at systemic solutions, and it needs all hands on deck, because the safety of our teachers, or the extent to which schools are not gangsters' paradise, as many of them are reported to be, also contributes to some of these decisions. So it's not only going to be one silver bullet. It's going to require activists, it's going to require NGOs, it's going to require private sector such as ourselves, and mainly government, to really take charge of various pieces and aspects.
As I say goodbye to you, Setlogane, I find it very interesting that in that list you just gave me, you put government at the back. This is a government failure, once again leaning on the private sector to fix what they can't. Is that fair?
Gareth, I mean, government cannot be left to solve every aspect on its own. That much I accept. You know, very often, even as parents, we must take responsibility. We see schools as dumping grounds. You know, parents just let their kids go and are not interested in understanding what happens in our own schools. So we really need to take an active role in participation. Of course, government has a significant role to play, but as I say, it's all hands on deck. It's NGOs, it's everyone has to really show a keen interest, not only just a keen interest, do something about the challenges besetting our education system.
It's a wonderful way to try and unpack what is going to be a big talking point for Teachers Month as well. Head of Corporate Social Investment at Investec, Setlogane Manchidi, thank you, sir, for your time this morning. And as we say goodbye, there is going to be that one teacher. Is there one for you? I can think of a few.
I have a number.
Yeah.
I have a number. I have a Mrs. Portera. That was, in Standard 5.
Yeah.
What's that, grade 7?
Grade 7.
Grade 7. Yeah. I've had a Mrs. Portera. I've had so many amazing Miss Giacovani, who was teaching us French and Italian. I didn't do Italian though, but I did do a little bit of
The French still sticks, by the way. The French is very good, by the way.
Oh, the French sticks?
Yeah, your French sticks. Your French is good. Yeah, behind the scenes, you haven't seen it. This one is fluent in La French.
He gives me too much credit. He gives me too much credit. Pure Gareth style.
As we head up to 8 o'clock, I think from the both of us then, a happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers. I could never imagine trying to do your job, and thank you to everyone who gets up every single day, goes to school and does the job.
Here's one thing that Mrs. Poltera once said that I remember, and she wrote in my yearbook, "If it is to be, it is up to me." And I've carried that with me throughout my life.
How do teachers get so smart? Well done. We're back with you in just a moment.
Happy Teachers' Day.
Happy Teachers' Day.